because I screw about this software. Okay, off we go. The talking car. Can you believe it?
Come on, the light's still green.
Wait a minute, Mary. Let's not cross yet.
Well, why not, Jack?
Why not? By my gears and gaskets, Jack's right.
Oh, my God.
Unless you saw the light come on, you just don't know how much time there is left to cross.
Is he having a stroke?
So you wait for the amber, the red, and then cross at the beginning of the green light.
Wow, the amber never caught on. Is that what they were going for if this is public safety?
Who said that?
Look at that.
Wait, fruit punch, lemonade, and apple juice, right? Yeah.
He's acting as if the car were talking.
That's silly. Cars can't talk.
Satan! Sorcery.
Well, boil my radiator.
Boil my radiator.
That's the trouble with people, Jack. They say something can't be so just because they never heard of it before.
See, the dog's smart. The dog needs to get out of there.
You can tell Rag I'm not the biting kind, Mary.
It really can talk.
My life is
How did you know our
lie.
names?
It's no problem when a fella gets around as much as I do, especially since I watch for you every day.
What do you watch for us?
Well, let's say
In
I
your
enjoy
bedroom.
watching you learn and put into practice the rules of safety. Just yesterday, I saw you two at the safety demonstration on the school grounds. Remember?
You saw us there?
Oh, my God. Get a
That's right,
friggin'
Mary.
protective order. Get a protective order
I was
against
sitting
this
across
car.
the street at the time, watching and
He's
listening.
stalking
And
children.
I might
Come on,
add,
man.
enjoying every minute of it. You know, I was mighty pleased that when the instructor asked a question, you two were as quick as a hot spark plug with the answers. Just watching you learning the signs and rules of traffic and pedestrian safety made my carburetor skip a jump. Yes, sir. I felt like tooting
All right,
my
this is
horn when
incredibly
I saw that
creepy,
you remembered
but I
those
think I'm
rules when you
putting it
came to
there,
this
so-
intersection.
Well, we've learned the traffic lights are put up for our own protection.
Of course, they're kind of protection.
That's right. Can you two tell me some of the other safeguards you see around you every day?
Oh, there are lots of them.
Sure. Let's see. Traffic laws are very important. And how about policemen and crossing guards?
Drivers' hand signals often help us.
No, they don't. Maybe they used to.
Crosswalks at street corners help to protect us.
I think straight out
And
is
other
right.
safety islands and
crooked
busy
arm is
streets.
left. I can't remember.
And don't forget school safety patrol.
I think the important thing to remember is that people on foot must be just as alert as people in cars, even with these safeguards to help us.
Were you ever like young and stupid and try to like thread the needle through traffic, maybe on a busy street? I grew up on two big intersections, and boy,
Maybe even more so, Jack, because sometimes the driver is careless.
You two are hitting on every cylinder. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to expect too much protection from these safeguards?
How do you mean?
Well, one example is the crosswalk. Some people seem to think those white lines on the pavement are fences.
those people saw
But
earlier
that
white
isn't the
lines
case at all.
10 minutes earlier.
Those lines only serve as an added safety measure. It's necessary that you watch for cars even though you are in a crosswalk.
No, all's fair in love and war.
Some
You don't have to
drivers
look out for
don't
shit.
stop soon enough and get over the line.
Throw your bike at his
That's
car.
why you have to keep your eyes open whenever you're around traffic. At unmarked intersections where there aren't any crosswalks or guards or
Look at this
traffic
guy.
signs,
Probably listens
you
to jazz
have to
music.
be
What the hell's going on
especially
here?
careful.
No, that was one of the first things we learned at school.
We also learned in class that the most dangerous time is after school hours and on days when we don't go to school.
I'm so glad that there's a dog in this. It gives me something to focus on.
I'd give my spare tire if everyone would remember that.
I'll give you
should
that
see
car.
some of the things I see around this town. Why, it's enough to curl my fenders.
All right, all right.
With all the places there are to play, there are still plenty of boys and girls who take chances by playing in the streets.
My God. Here comes a drunk driver.
Another thing
The
that
shoe is
raises
dragged
my
for
temperature is the person who suddenly darts out in the street from between hot
Oh,
cars.
damn, Billy. What are you doing?
They sure wouldn't if they knew how hard it is for me to stop quickly.
I guess we've all forgotten the rules at one time or another. Not long ago, I had a close call. It really taught me a lesson.
What happened, Jack?
Gives me the shivers just thinking about it. It was the day I left school early because I was sick.
So what's
I
going
was on
on?
my way home and feeling kind of woozy. I guess I wasn't paying much attention to where I was going.
Oh, no. You're going to hit Typhoid Mary. Stop it.
I found out in a hurry that's one time it pays to be extra careful.
I guess you can see now, Jack, why it's important that you keep perking on all cylinders all the time.
Yes, we certainly should keep alert all of the time. I know, because of something that happened to me last week. I was going to the store just before dinner time. I was in a hurry because I wanted to get back home in time to watch my favorite television program. I started to cut across in the middle of the block.
Oh, you're a little idiot. Forget it. Stop it, Sally. No. Look, that was just stupidity.
I'll never do that again.
No, you must go. Darwin has spoken.
The very next day, I had to go to the store again.
Oh, boy.
And that time, I went to the corner and walked
And
across
put the
street.
dog's life in danger, too.
I noticed you said walked across at the intersection, Mary. Can either of you tell me why that's important?
I can answer that because I saw what can happen when you don't walk.
I know we've learned that when you run, there's a bigger chance of stumbling and falling.
Right.
Is that what you saw happen?
Let me tell you about it. The other
Boy.
day, Freddie, he's one of my pals,
Do I
was in a
have an
big rush to
anecdote
get
for
home.
this? I was stumbling drunk running down the street, running from my bookie, and bang!
He stumbled
car
in front of a
killed me,
car
I
and
went to
came pretty
hell.
close
The
to getting
end.
hit. Another time, a buddy of mine was crossing the street and wasn't watching where he was going.
I was laughing my ass off. Oh, Billy's friend.
Boy, he was lucky the car was coming around the corner slowly, and he didn't get hurt. I also remember
Billy's
seeing
friend,
Joan,
Father
one of Mary's
Sue.
girlfriends. And she found out there's more to remember than just walking across an intersection. The light was red and Joan should have waited. But when she looked both ways along the curving road and didn't see any
see.
cars coming, she started across the street against the signal.
Because you just...
She had to
asshole.
change her mind in a hurry.
See, that's not today's America. Today's America, yeah, you start breaking windows. Fuck you.
When I see foolish things like that, I almost blow a gasket.
All right, enough.
After all,
Forget it. You do the
people
thing.
have to remember that a car's a big thing. You can see it, but that doesn't mean the driver can always see you, especially when he's not expecting you.
We
Oh,
learned
they're
about
blind.
that in our safety demonstration at school.
We also learned that a driver has more trouble seeing in the evening when it starts getting darker. And there are certain rules we should remember.
Bullseye again. I know from experience.
Don't do it, car.
It's not easy spotting a pedestrian after sundown. That's why it's a wise policy to carry or wear something white.
So
And
I know
of
where you
course,
are,
where
so
there
I can
aren't any
slam into
sidewalks,
you.
walk on the left-hand side of the road so you can see the traffic coming toward you.
I always walk with flow of traffic. I feel absolutely walking like I'm doing something wrong walking the other way. I don't know, is that me?
Even most careful drivers can't see as clearly as they would like to at night. And on stormy nights, it's rougher than a washboard road. Drivers not only have more trouble seeing, but I know my brakes just don't stop me as quickly on wet pavement.
If we remembered our part and obeyed all the safety rules, it would make the driver's job that much easier.
And you wouldn't have to be making as many of those sudden stops.
There's one time, though, when I don't seem to be able to stop at all.
No.
And that,
He's had his chip for 20 years.
that's when I get to talking. I guess I better stop and let you get home to
No,
dinner.
please.
You must be getting hungry.
Let's eat the dog.
All right, Rags. We've had a lot of fun talking to you.
And I've enjoyed talking about the rules of safety. Do you two think you can remember all the things we talked?
Mary?
I'm sure we can.
You
Now,
better,
let's
or
see.
I'll stalk you in the
Play
night.
away from traffic. Streets aren't playgrounds.
Obey traffic signals. Watch for turning cars.
Dooba-dooba.
Cross only at corners.
Yep.
Because we're dangerous.
Because we're
Be
dangerous.
extra careful after school.
And on days when we don't go to school.
Oh,
Good
shit.
for you.
Damn.
Just remember that, and I'll be
First
the
one there.
happiest car on the highway.
That's a dubious statement.
Hey, that looks like your driver coming.
Oh, shit.
Let's just keep this between us. You know, some people don't believe a car can talk. Goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Wow. That was better than The Wizard of Oz, let me tell you. They had a dog. I think the dog stole the show. I guess that was pretty alright animation for, what was this? Early 60s, 50s? The AAA.
I'm not stupid. I know you have bitches in here.
What they at, though? What they at, though? What they
Oh, this poor bastard.
When?
Watch this.
When?
Oh, this is horrible. Listen.
When? Come on.
You're going to hear his arm snap like a chicken bone. So if you don't want to hear that. Oh, that was a guy's bone. What the fuck? Can you imagine? Ah, no. No. The guy's taking it really well, better than I would if I heard a bone do that in my body.
Did you?
Get him another pint.
Hi, are you a fan of Bernie Sanders?
Oh, okay. Here's somebody from InfoWars who, I don't know, just doesn't know how to do their job effectively.
Yeah, I am.
What do you like about him?
That he's a socialist.
Why is socialism good?
Are you like?
She's at a Bernie Sanders rally.
I don't really want to do this. What is this for?
We're asking people why they like Bernie Sanders.
For InfoWars.
Yes, we are InfoWars.
I think he has a lot of integrity. I like his value system. I like what he stands for.
Exactly what values.
Eating the rich.
Eating the rich. Well, are you aware that Bernie Sanders lives in $3 million homes?
No, I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
And are you aware, I'm going to ask you something. So if they're about eating the rich, why do you think so many of the 1% support socialism?
Is that true?
It's very true.
Like who?
Well, for example, you know Venezuela, right?
What?
A majority of the country is currently eating rats while their politicians are drinking champagne.
She just talked about who was the 1%, and she's all of a sudden went to Venezuela.
Champagne on a daily basis.
But that's not the 1%.
Remember what we were just talking about?
The 1% of Venezuela.
I'm talking about America.
Well, I'm saying, since if Bernie Sanders were president, right, and he wanted to bring the same ideas as for socialism into this country, do you think that we would benefit?
Yeah.
But I just told you Venezuela is eating rats.
But
I just told you.
I just want people to have health care, honey. I don't want
Oh yeah, another person starts in with the
You people have like worms in your brain, honestly.
I mean, you're the one who can't answer the question.
What question?
The question is why
That's
you support
a good
socialism.
question.
You can have health care without socialism.
I want people to have free health care.
Why free?
Pays for it.
Why would the government pay for it?
Because I think everyone has a right to have health care.
Bullshit.
Officials in Los Angeles are offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the capture of the so-called Night Stalker.
This was like a collection of Night Stalker clips.
He's the sadistic killer wanted for a series of murders and rapes, KNBC's Phil Schuman reports.
The same man is suspected in 6 to 8 murders and 25 to 30 attacks. The latest victim, a 35-year-old man, shot in the head last Thursday. Now dubbed the Night Stalker, the crime spree covers 50 miles.
Yeah, you know what? And let me talk about this Night Stalker business. Now this Golden State Killer is being called the original. How can you be the original Night Stalker? The fact that that has to be tacked on means you were no way the original Night Stalker. Bullshit.
The suspect varies the time, place, and type of attack, but he always enters through an open door or window.
I'm afraid for everybody, elderly, young, everybody.
I've been very apprehensive. I keep my doors locked and my guns loaded.
Yeah, you had to. I think they said he got into, it was less than 5 times that he just walked in somebody's front door because they didn't lock it.
Those who don't already have guns are buying them. Locks are selling well, too. Meanwhile, investigators have distributed this composite all over Southern California.
Sheriff's Department, Martinez, help you?
Callers are flooding the Sheriff's Department with reported sightings, but so far, no solid leads.
We do not have anything substance as of yet, and absolutely nothing that indicates that the suspect is close to being apprehended.
Though there is a large task force working on this case, investigators believe the so-called Night Stalker will be caught because of a tip from the public. To help motivate someone to come forward, Los Angeles County officials have authorized a $10,000 reward.
There is some weird stuff that people didn't know about Richard Ramirez when all this was coming out. He saw his uncle kill his girlfriend. Not Richard's girlfriend, his uncle's girlfriend. He said like his cousin used to show him pictures of I guess he was over in Vietnam and he really liked being over in Vietnam, doing the kind of shit he could do. And yeah, he was showing all the shit to Richard when he was a little kid, and he was sleeping in graveyards. It was pretty crazy. Coming up was pretty crazy for Richard Ramirez, but shit, I mean, wow. This guy just went too nuts, too crazy.
In Los Angeles, Phil Schuman reporting for NBC News.
California's newest serial killer has reportedly struck in San Francisco. The so-called Night Stalker is blamed for 7 murders in the Los Angeles area. Now, police have linked the killer to a murder in San Francisco last weekend. Police say the only common thread in the killings is the time of day.
How come? You know what it is? It's. I guess it looks like him, but it always looks like he's got a head. What is this? It looks like. Is he a chia pet? Is it? It looks like pubic hair is what it looks like, to be quite honest.
The Night Stalker apparently picks his victims at random, entering their homes.
It looks like a Q-tip.
After dark through unlocked doors.
That's what it is.
The so-called Night Stalker.
He's right behind you, Mr. Newsman.
A man suspected of climbing through open windows to rape and murder those inside has been sought by authorities in connection with 14 murders and as many as 19 assaults in Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Yeah, there was a Peter Gabriel song, 1980, Intruder. It was all about a guy breaking in Hollywood. Like, he got off on, like, the women's clothes. It was like, oh, my God, man. It's
Early Sunday, an attack fitting the same description was reported in Mission Viejo, California.
More of that.
Joe Rico of KNBC reports.
A pre-dawn break-in. A male victim shot. The female occupant sexually attacked. It's all too familiar to investigators who say the so-called walk-in killer has struck again.
Oh, that was the walk-in killer. Huh.
This time farther south in the bedroom community of Mission Viejo, south of Los Angeles. It was almost 3 a.m. Sunday morning. A 29-year-old woman told deputies an intruder shot her boyfriend in the head, then turned on her.
The intruder grabbed her, he sexually assaulted her and tied her up. And it appears that he went through the residence after that and then left the residence. She managed to get loose to where she could call us on the 911 line, and that's when we responded.
Investigators say the attacker is on a statewide crime spree, attacking single women, elderly couples, children, anyone, any place where windows are left unlocked, the home's poorly lit.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't
One of the latest
picky.
attacks was in San Francisco. A 66-year-old man and his wife are both shot in the head following the break-in of their home. The man's death was the 14th murder by the so-called walk-in killer during the past 5 months. Authorities have launched a multi-agency task force to find the man they call a very cunning and dangerous killer. They also say they have a good description, a psychological profile, even a vehicle description, but nothing more. Joe Rico for NBC News, Los Angeles.
Californians have come to know him as the Night Stalker. He strikes in the night, and police say he has killed 14 people. Yesterday, he struck again, and Heidi Schulman reports people are wondering when and where he will strike next.
Here.
Police are getting hundreds of calls from frightened citizens, but have not identified the man Californians are calling the Night Stalker. He's blamed for 14 murders in 34 separate attacks. The crimes began in the Los Angeles area, but last week, the killer struck in San Francisco, and yesterday morning in Mission Viejo. There, a man was shot in the head, his girlfriend sexually assaulted. Los Angeles County Sheriff Sherman Block.
Nobody knows where this individual may strike next.
There is some pattern to the attacks. Often, victims' homes are yellow and near freeways. The killer enters through an unlocked door or window, and in some cases, he's left a message, a signature. Police won't reveal that signature, but psychologists say it may mean he wants to be caught.
Oh my God.
They also warn he could become even more dangerous.
The serial murderer
it's pretty crazy.
Become, used to his acts of violence, and therefore it becomes more easy to do.
There is a compulsive element, a drive kind of element, which
I don't think I know what his
continue to repeat.
I don't know what his overall motivation was, to be honest with you. I think he was just cumulative kind of just things happen sequentially or
these crimes until the point that they're caught.
Many Southern Californians are seeking protection.
I like to sleep with the windows open and stuff, especially during this hot weather, but closing everything up.
And last night we had everything locked up, had the dog in the house, and even though it was hot, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I mean, it's frightening.
Psychologists say fear and publicity may be what the Night Stalker wants, but police hope it will also lead to someone spotting him before he murders again. Heidi Schulman, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Let me go quickly back to...
Oh, that was it. Oh, he's going to play... I thought I had another clip where they finally caught him. He got caught. He ended up getting caught. He was recognized out in public, and a mob of people just ganged up on him and kicked the shit out of him. They didn't kill him, though. They called the cops, I'm sure. If they didn't kill the cops, it probably would have went a little full on. All right, let's see.
Do a first-time call out of Michigan.
Right.
Eli, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to continue by saying, you always make the point that this is a spiritual battle,
Yes.
good versus evil, right versus wrong. And if that is so, shouldn't we have a president who operates and conducts himself and enacts policy according to the Bible?
What?
Well, he is doing things according to the Bible.
He's doing a lot of things not according to the Bible, too.
By putting the family first, making sure we're safe, making sure we can earn a living, making sure that we're not overtaken by illegals and other people who want to kill us, like Allah Akbar folks. And then making friends with our friends around the country and dealing with our enemies.
Friendship. Our Ebonies? Was this guy on Fat Albert? The guy, Mushmouth? Is that who this is?
And then these other things, we personally got to deal with.
See, that's what sucks about Fat Albert, man. That was all Bill Cosby. Fat Albert was cool.
But he'll get involved, don't worry. Did you vote for him, Eli?
I did not.
And did you vote for Hillary?
I like what South Park did. The gangster.
I actually wasn't old enough to vote. I'm only 18.
Oh, and so if you had been able to vote, would you have voted for the Great White Hope?
No.
You would not have voted for it. And why not?
Trump was great.
Because I don't really agree with anything that he stands for.
So then why are you so concerned about how we see him then?
I just wanted to check if you were being consistent, because I don't feel like you are.
Why is that important to you, someone who will not vote for a good man, period? Why is that so important to you?
That's not what he's...
I would vote for a good man.
Because if you won't vote for a man like President Trump, then everything about your life is inconsistent. Because
what if you don't
vote? You're in a fallen state, and Satan is your father. So your whole
Wait, Satan is his father? Because he's questioning Trump? I don't know. I'd like to...
life is inconsistent.
Yeah. Why don't you just tell him to shoot himself while you're at it? Wow. Wow, what a cop-out. Well, Satan is your father. Thank you. Click. What?
Operating under is a collage of chaos tactic. So many stories that happen multiple times a day, over the weeks, over the years, that you cannot focus or keep up with anything.
Information apocalypse.
Apocalypse. What Roger just did and what we do on InfoWars all the time is tied together in a perpetual timeline that's all tied together. Because,
and we'd never be able to do it without our
they want to keep you in the moment confused.
Talent.
I mean, and that's what Gruber said. It's all about confusing us, fog of war. But we've got the enemy battle map. We're not even looking at what they're projecting. We've got their battle map, and that's what they hate.
Wow. What do you think? Wow. I don't even know what is Alex Jones doing? Seriously, honestly, is like, if this is performance art, it's got to be. If this is performance art, I got to change my whole thing about it. I don't know. I got to reevaluate, but I don't think my first instinct is wrong.
Exactly. This is so we could say, like, this is not about.
He was on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan actually had him do shots of beer, and actually got him to start. He got him to smoke a joint, and he started talking about aliens, but he wouldn't really go into that area too much, and then he'd just be kind of like, "Oh, I know things, but I can't." And Alex Jones.
Mars. Excuse me, this is not about Iran. This is about Mars. Meaning, this is about attacking Elon, attacking the human evolution, attacking where we're going, playing this other game.
This is already an AI system that made the decision to have a post-human world, and Trump has jumped in with others and are saying, no, we're not doing it at the elite level.
Oh, none of this happens in a vacuum. None of this happens in singular movements. This is all connected. We've already forgotten about Vegas. They roll Parkland out. So what happened to Vegas?
They roll it out.
No big deal. We know what happened to do with the Saudis. Now they're having firefights there in Saudi Arabia, and it's going to get us into war with Iran.
And they don't want us to question the next false flag. That's what they're really pissed about.
The next. So he's inferring that it's just whatever it is, it's going to be a false flag.
It's why I said Parkland didn't happen when I didn't say that.
America are trying to destroy our president.
Yes.
Yes.
It's scary.
Look at him.
I know more than I can ever say on television.
Bullshit.
And I know this. It's beyond diabolical what's going on in our country.
Diabolical.
Our country is truly divided. Could you explain any of that to us? I know you do in the book. I know you talk a lot about the bullseye.
Well, you sit here and divide us every day, Jim, but don't worry about it.
The president has a bullseye on his back.
Yeah.
Damn.
And if they could kill him, I wouldn't believe. If somebody told me there was 1,000 people trying to kill the president, I would believe that.
I don't know, 1,000? I don't know. You'd have to look at, like, FBI behavioral statistics and stuff like that. I know, like, serial killers, they said any one time serial killers are running around the U.S., how many at any given time? And I've heard, like, 500, which is just, you really don't, what, really? 10 a state? To probably it's more like less than 100, but
I would believe 1 million.
I don't think there's 1 million people legitimately trying to kill Donald Trump. Legitimately, like, I got a shot.
Because I've never seen such hatred for a human being. But yet, our country
never
is actually doing better. And there's hope that we may even stop abortion. And I know we're in the last days. And so to tell people it's just
you're in your last days, that's for sure.
Okay, and everything.
Don't try to take us all with you.
You have forces, George Soros. And
whoa,
other
look at him,
individuals
George
in this country,
Soros.
and
he's like a supervillain. Villain? Supervillain. Cast him in the next Marvel movie. Make him the kingpin.
There's powers and principalities that are at work in the heavenly places, Ephesians 6 tells us. And they are endeavoring to dismantle the foundations of this country.
Bullseye Offer, Bullseye Book, and Divine Appointments book. So they're saying the name of their offer is based on the fact that they believe millions of people are trying to kill Trump. Okay.
To replace this.
Is that like poor manners or something? I don't know.
Nation as it was established and make it like we've seen in many European countries today. No standards, whatever, darkness is light, good is evil. Who are you to tell me that I can't do this? And this is political forces. We saw in a previous administration. Think of this. The White House was lit up celebrating the establishment of gay marriage in America. And it was a day of celebration. And the president, and then he's following it up, the president going to Planned Parenthood and saying, God bless you. It's like, how could this happen in America? This is insanity. I think in this last election, though, God moved on the hearts of his people. And I've been a 40-year member of Intercessors for America. And people prayed, and they cried out, God, whoever, whatever it's going to take, but please have mercy on America. And I believe we've had a pause.
See, this is the problem with what they do is, I'm not going to get into theology, but no, I mean, if you really believe that something's wrong and people have the right to do it, they have a right to do it, then don't you believe that that person will get what's coming to them, right? So in the end, everyone's going to be cosmically karma'd out or something. I don't know.
And I believe with President Donald Trump, and I'm a close friend of Steve Strang. His book, God and Trump, is excellent.
Yeah.
You say, is he a Christian? Is he not? I do know this.
He's
Look
not.
At the fruit of this man in office. Not some of the stuff 15 years.
Who cares? Don't pretend like this stuff has to...
ago that lady said and all that stuff.
Do you think we'd ever get an atheist president? I don't know. Probably not. That would freak too many people out. I don't know. Maybe not.
I'm talking, look at the fruit. You say, but Larry, he's brash. Yeah, he is. He's a New York guy. Yeah, he's a businessman. But I look at the policies, the judges.
Although, on matters abroad, I don't know. if I don't know, could an atheist president be, would they have the social skills to kind of deal with that? And I don't know. It's an interesting paradigm. I don't think we're going to have it anytime soon, but who knows?
That are being put in. I look at Jerusalem being established there. Finally, I look at a Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch put on the court. I see people like Ben Carson and Mike Pence and others that are there working in the Heritage Foundation. We're giving
raising the rent on poor people.
And it's our time.
Oh, good, it's our time. I hope it's our time to move away from this brief